Hey guys, and welcome to Magnus Talks. Normally I'm a Let's Play guy. I start playing games for your enjoyment, but this time I just want to talk about games that I've experienced that led me to theorize thoughts, maybe things that I just want to share with you guys. So, this game is Yume Nikki, and as you may know, I did play this game and stopped playing it, but in no way stopped it because of the game being bad. I stopped it mostly because this game gave you no direction, and because of that, you need to spend a lot more time sinking into whatever story it's trying to portray to you. I couldn't do that in the allotted time, and try to make it entertaining for you guys. So, I stopped it. But in no way did I stop because the game was horrible. I did play it on by myself, however, and it was an entertaining experience, and an experience that opened my mind to multiple theories. And actually, I have a lot of theories about this game, but mostly I want to stick with two theories, which I'm going to mesh together. It starts off with the Mitsuki rape theory. This theory is very, very popular among a lot of the fans of Yume Nikki, because a lot of the signs lead to it. But what led me to the sign of this whole entire rape scene is that there's this random stranger you meet in a train who looks completely shady, looks more monstrous than human, and he's sitting there on the train. At first he's doing nothing, which makes it seem kind of awkward, but doesn't make it seem like a rapist kind of thing, just seems like a creepy man. But, see, we need to take into account the stuff we've seen to get there. See, you walk through the forest, and you're then led into a stage labeled Hell, literally labeled Hell. You get out of it, and you find a forest with a whole bunch of eyes staring at you. And these eyes are looking at you, and you feel uneasy, like someone's watching you. This is when you go to a train, in which you find the man inside of the train. See, I think about it like this, though. In a dream, you go deeper to find the beginning. And so, I think the beginning is the train. The creepy man is in the train and he doesn't talk to you. You may or may not know where you are. And I think that also adds to it because of different stages in the game, like the number level where you don't know where you are. It's a strange place and the only thing you understand is numbers. Like, in a stage like that, there's stuff where you don't decipher things that aren't universally known, meaning that you're in a place that you don't recognize. I feel like you're stalked by this man, because as you leave the train, you go back to the forest, where they're staring at you, eyes are looking at you, giving you the sense that you are being followed, and then you go through that hell stage, which makes you believe that this man stalked you in this forest and made your life a living hell. I think through rape. This guy stalked you, followed you, did all these things to you. In this one stage, you find zipped up zipper kind of wallpaper, and in this room, you find one pathway that if you use your knife, you can open it up and blood comes out. But there's also two legs sticking out of it where the blood comes out of. See, I don't want to stretch it too far, but I kind of want to call out the fact that a hymen breaking or a hymen spreading out doesn't actually break would bleed. So, it kind of makes me think that she might have been a virgin and was raped by this man in this town that she did not know. See, once you go into this passageway, you'll find a weird thing that looks like a penis, which more or less represents a masculine trait, as only males have penises. This penis-shaped thing has a face on it that looks kind of sinister, staring at you, kind of more easing you into it, but I don't think that this is a representation of the action itself. I don't think it's a representation that inside of this leg hymen thing, this penis was raping you, because it's stroking the staircase. I think that this is a representation of what she sees the man. A penis, a basic figure of rape that raped her and used her for sexual gain. It's stroking her because it's trying to calm her down. And you would say, why is she trying to calm you down? Well, as you proceed up the staircase, you agreed with this image of flashing color. This entire scene looks horrendous. People want to speculate that it maybe is a uterus. People want to speculate that maybe it's a demon face of what she saw. But what I want to suggested as is that it is an LSD trip, a trip that she was drugged. And the fact that all these colors and flashing lights and this skewed image that she cannot see, I feel like she was drugged. And this guy is taking advantage of her there because she is unwilling to, she doesn't speak English or speak the language, doesn't know what's going on, and is unable to call for help. There is actually a room filled completely with cells. Stuff that you would see in cellular reproduction, something that like, but the thing is, it's not just one cell, it's multiple cells, cells sporadically changing and going and moving, and it symbolizes maybe a growth of something. Growth of a child? I don't know. But stuff that seems sexual, so I feel that she went through so many lengths, and the fact that she doesn't have a child makes me think maybe she had to go through a means of removing this child, which also sends me to the fact of Uboa. See, this girl is a nun. I'm assuming the girl that you're with is a nun. This blonde-haired chick that you find, I forgot her name. But when you turn off the light, she becomes more of a nun, which looks like Uboa. Uboa looks like a nun, which would take her to a world of hell because she has done the religious taboo of abortion, which I think might have happened. And so that they're giving her messages of like punishment and hell for what she has done. After this, you also need to decipher the fact that she locks herself in her room, doesn't want to go out, hides from society. Basically an introvert. There's a couple rooms where she changes her appearance, most drastically the blonde one, where she changes her hair to blonde. A lot of rape victims tend to change their appearance very drastically as a means of coping. So I think this blonde hair is a memory of her trying to change her experience to cope with this entire terrible scene that's happened to her. After all of this is done, after you're done with your adventure or your memory trip, you find that you put each piece of your memories in the front of each door, in which you leave and walk outside, and you kill yourself. Yep, there's really no way to go around this. You kill yourself, and it seems to end the game there. There's no more ending after that. But I don't think she killed herself, and in no way she did so. See, I think that the real world, the world that you were told was the real world, wasn't the real world in any way. See, you're thinking, oh wait a minute, Magnus, whoa, how does that make sense? How does there be sensing with you talking about this? You go to sleep to go to your dream. Well, think about it. Yes, you do go to sleep to go into a dream, but if you go into one of the rooms, there are actually multiple beds scattered around your dream, and in one of the dreams, in fact, you can go to sleep in it, and it leads you to another section of the dream. So if these beds are more of sections to travel through dreams, maybe you were in a dream in the first place, and that's your main travel bed that sends you to more worlds, like that one bed in there, which is interesting because, see, normally your sky is not the way it is. It's mostly like black, dark purple, but it's like sunrise near the end. And when you go through the bed, you go through a train station, you go to a roof, and you find the same exact scene with a cat on the top of the roof. You go to another dream. So I'm assuming that these dreams are kind of connected, and they're just the same world to two different angles. Two different places, one on the top of the roof and one in your room. So I'm speculating that this entire thing was a dream, something that she fabricated and did to hide herself from the terrible memories she had, but in turn made herself have a living hell. See, when she jumps off, you don't see her body, you don't see an urban scenario, you don't see anything. You see her dream world with two dream entities that look like jellyfishes, but I realize they're just women, and they're looking at you, and that's it. It's where it ends. You don't see much else. But if she really killed herself in the real world, wouldn't you see a whole bunch of people scattered around her in an urban scenario, being that she lives in a building? So it makes me think that in turn, the ultimate the thing that actually happened, had this entire dream to hide from these memories of terrible things that happened to her, and eventually she realized that she made her go through a living hell in her own mind through these dreams. A way of escaping it, she trapped herself in her subconscious, and the only way to get out was to go through all of these memories and finally jump off the building to shock herself awake, finally ending the dream and letting her live her life. So I don't think this was a way of like saying she was raped so she killed herself. I think this is a story about a girl who was raped, who had to cope with this thing, and as a way of coping with it, she went through this entire dream experience, going through her memories, deciphering it herself, coping with it, and finally escaping the hell of her dream world, her memories, and so that she can live a life that she wants to live, that she had taken away from her because of this man, but now she can live. So I think the dream theory that she's always been in a dream, and the theory that she's been raped is 2 in 1 and makes sense, as this entire thing may just be a weird world that she fabricated truly because she wanted to cope with it, the way of coping it, and she finally escapes. You don't know what happens to her afterwards, but I think she's trying to live her life, at least a livable life, something she will try to do after experiencing this nightmare and accepting that this nightmare happened. So, well, that's my theory. My theory about Yume Nikki. I still think this game is a very beautiful game, and I did want to share my experience with you, but it's something that you have to experience yourself, and not something that you can kind of let's play. So, thanks guys for listening to me for about 13 to 14 minutes now. I appreciate you guys for listening to the whole way if you did. So kudos to you. As reward for staying this far, tell me about your side of the story, your theories, your ideas about the game. Because you listened to me for about 15, 14 minutes. So I want to listen to you. I want to listen to all of you. I'll do my best to respond to each and every one of your messages and elaborate with you. I want to create a discussion. But for now, to be continued. Thanks for watching, guys.